Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome to the channel. Today we have a brand new light from TrueNight. This is going to be their TC20 Pro. As far as this light goes, this is going to have a lumen output of 3,294 lumens, so it's going to be really bright. As you guys know, I do love TrueNight lights. I have a ton of these lights and they are very good quality. They're very rugged. These things are super bright and I have not had any issues with any of mine whatsoever, so I do love these lights. Now, as far as this new one here, the TC20 Pro, as far as sizing goes, let me compare it to some of their other lights. Here we have the Catapult V6. As you can see, it's a little bit smaller than that. Here we have the TrueNight T2, a little bit fatter than this one. Here we have the BSS V4. So as you can see, they have a lot of different sizes, different designs. So this one's gonna be kind of in between, like something like this, but not really pocket carry. Like this one actually does not come with a pocket clip. This does come with the sheath that is included in the box. So it's not gonna be very comfortable for a pocket carry for something a little bit slimmer like this, or like this one here. But you do have a sheath with it, which is nice that they include one in every single one of their like bigger lights. You'll either get a pocket clip or a sheath there. So just going over the light here, as you can see, there is a button there. That's the way you're gonna pretty much operate the whole entire light. On the back here, you do not have a tail end switch, and that's pretty much it. As far as operating everything, it's gonna be with that button, and it's very simple. This is gonna work exactly the same pretty much as all their lights do, and we'll run through the modes here in just a second. Now quickly, we're gonna see what is actually powering this light, and we have a TrueNight branded battery, 5,000 milliamps. This is gonna be a 26650 battery, 3.7 volts, and that just goes right into this chamber here. This light is waterproof. The only thing that you do have to watch out with for this light, there's actually two ways of opening this. You can open the top of the head here, so you'll have to screw that on, and the tail end here also opens up, so if you want to take out the battery that way, you can do so as well, which is great. But the only thing you got to watch out for is on both sides there is an O-ring there, which again, they do provide extra O-rings, but just make sure that it's tight on both sides. You know, if you're gonna plan to use it in the rain, dunk it underwater, whatever, make sure it's tightened up right there and tightened up right there, because you definitely don't want water to get into any of these areas. So just make sure both of those areas are tightened up. Now, as far as the lens here, it is gonna have like a smooth reflector. The bezel is gonna be smooth, not aggressive at all. And then the LED on this one is going to be the Cree XHP70. And the body here is going to be all aluminum. Has pretty good weight to it. It's not super light. It's not really that heavy at all either. Like I mentioned, this is going to be waterproof. So dunking it in the water, dunking it, you know, having it out in the rain, not going to be a problem. And the distance on this is going to be 248 meters. Okay, so running through the modes really quick. This is going to be like most of their lights. You hold down the button, and that will give you your FIREFLY mode. That's going to be 0.4 lumens. That'll run for 69 days. Once you click that button on, you can run through the rest of the modes here. It's going to go low, medium, high. The low on this is going to be 30 lumens. That's going to run for 89 hours. The medium on this is going to be 264 lumens, and that's going to be 10.5 hours. And then the high on this one is going to be 1,513 lumens, and that's going to run 116 minutes. So like all of their lights, and actually most lights, if you double click, that's going to get you into your turbo mode, and that's where you're going to get the 3,294 lumens. This one does have a step down mode, and that's going to be 200 seconds. You're going to get the 3,294 lumens for 200 seconds. And then it will step down to 1,500 lumens, and that's going to run an additional 112 minutes. You do also have a strobe mode on this one, and the way you get to that is you're going to hit the button 4 times, 1, 2, 3, 4. Or if you're already on your turbo mode, which is double click, high mode, if you click it 2 more times, 1, 2, then that'll get you to your strobe also. And this TrueNight light is going to come with a 2-year free replacement. Like I said, I've had these lights for a while and I've never had any issues, so you probably won't have to use the replacement. but if you do, they do have a 2-year free replacement, so that's kind of nice there. And what am I missing here? Okay, the charging. As far as the charging goes, this is going to be a USB-C charging. That's going to be your port right there. You know, again, if you're going to be dunking this underwater or whatever, just make sure that little rubber seal is nice and tight in there. Sometimes it's not fully in there when you press it. You know, you might leave it a little bit open like that. Just make sure it is fully closed. Make sure you fully press it in. You want it like that before you get it into the rain and stuff. Now, as far as the accessory goes, you do get your lanyard. You get an extra cover for the charging port, an extra button there. You also get your charging cable, and then you do have your sheath. The sheath here, you slide your belt through, or you can kind of use a carabiner and clip it onto something like that, a backpack or whatever. Right, so that's pretty much it for the specs. Not much else to say about this light, so let's actually take it outside and see how it actually looks. Okay, as you guys can see, we're going to start off with the FIREFLY mode. This is going to be 0.4 lumens. Can't really see too much. This is going to be more for if you're trying to see something very, very close up. Or maybe you're in your house and don't want to disturb anybody. This is going to be what that's for. Moving on to the low mode here. This is going to be your 30 lumens. I can see a little bit in front of me. Not too bright, but you can definitely see the light. This is going up to the medium mode, which is going to be 264 lumens. Definitely being able to start seeing a little further out there. The light on here, as you notice, is going to be a little bit more flooded instead of being like a spotlight. It's going to be a little bit more spread out so you can see a little bit of a wider view. And then we have your high. This is going to be 1513 lumens. This is plenty bright. This is going to be bright enough to pretty much use this for absolutely everything. You get a nice wide view of absolutely everything. And I'm just going to move around here so you can see how bright this is. All right, and then we're going to double click and we're going to go to the turbo mode. And that's going to be our highest mode. All right, so this, we have the 3294 lumens. I mean, that's really, really bright. You can shine this anywhere and you're going to be able to see pretty far out, pretty wide too. Very, very bright. Again, this is going to run for 200 seconds before it drops down to your step down mode of 1500 lumens. So if you need something super bright for a couple minutes, you have your turbo there at 3294 lumens. And then it'll do that step down. Usually when I need a light this bright, usually only need it for like a minute or so, maybe even less than that. So I think the 200 seconds is bright enough. And if you do need something with a much longer runtime as far as the turbo goes, I would suggest going with the Catapult Pro. That one has a 9-minute long runtime, which is ridiculous, but most people are just going to need super bright output for a few seconds, maybe a minute tops. So this is definitely going to be bright enough. And as you can see, it has a great field of view. So one thing to note, with a lot of the lights, when I had it on the turbo, this area definitely gets hot. Not too crazy hot, but you can definitely feel it in this area. Down here where the handle is, not a problem. It feels a little bit warm, but not an issue at all. Just keep your hands away from this area. It's not going to burn you or anything, but you definitely feel the heat. Not any worse, not any hotter or worse than any other light that I felt, but just something to note there. All right, guys, and there you have it. This is the TC20 Pro by TrueNight. Very good light. You get a lot of good visibility with this. Definitely a nice light to have in your EDC gear. And as always, if you guys are interested in this, check the description down below, and that's going to give you more information and a link where you can pick one up. Once again, thanks for stopping by, and we'll catch you guys next time.